You wake up every morning, but have you ever stopped to think about the habits you're building from the moment your eyes open? How you begin your day can determine the rest of it, and how you begin your life can determine your future. Yet many of us are living in a pattern of destruction, unknowingly practicing habits that anger God. The truth is, there are 4 key habits that are not just harmful, they can grieve the Holy Spirit. These habits stand in the way of your blessings, your purpose, and your relationship with God. And if you're not careful, they can destroy everything God has prepared for you. So let's look at what these habits are and why it's critical to stop them before it's too late. The first habit that angers God is waking up with a heart of ingratitude. You roll out of bed and the first thing you do is complain. The alarm went off too early. The weather's bad. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like dealing with people. You don't feel like facing another day. The moment you wake up, your heart is filled with negativity and complaints. But here's the truth. Every breath you take is a gift from God. Every single day is a chance for you to fulfill your purpose, and the moment you wake up and let the weight of the world fill your heart instead of gratitude, you are disrespecting the gift of life that God has given you. You are angering God by focusing on the problems rather than the blessings. When you focus on your complaints, you miss out on His provision. When you focus on your burdens, you forget His promises. When you wake up and grumble, you close your eyes to the miracles that are waiting to unfold. Gratitude is the key to seeing God's favor in every situation. If you start your day by thanking God, you will begin to see Him move in ways you've never imagined. If you focus on His goodness, your day will shift from a battle to a blessing. The second habit that angers God is waking up with a lack of prayer. How often do you rush out of bed, run to your phone, check your social media, or start planning your day without even consulting God? The first thing that should come out of your mouth every single morning is a prayer of gratitude, asking for God's guidance and surrendering your day to Him. But too many people wake up and begin their day without seeking the one who has control over it. We think we can handle things ourselves. We think we can fight battles in our own strength. But here's the thing, you can't. You cannot fight spiritual battles with worldly weapons. You cannot face the enemy of your soul without the armor of God. If you start your day without inviting God into it, you are walking into your day unprepared and unprotected. When you don't pray, you open the door for confusion, anxiety, and fear to enter. Prayer is not just a formality. It's the foundation for the day. It's your communication with God. It's where you receive direction, strength, and peace. When you skip prayer, you are essentially saying, God, I don't need you today. Don't let your day start without the power of prayer to guide you. The third habit that angers God is waking up with a critical spirit. How many times have you opened your eyes in the morning and immediately started thinking about everything that's wrong in your life or what's wrong with other people? You look at your spouse, your children, your coworkers, and you immediately start judging, criticizing, and pointing out their flaws. But the Bible tells us to love others as Christ loved us. It tells us to forgive and to bear with one another. When you wake up with a critical spirit, you are walking in direct opposition to the love of Christ. You are walking in judgment instead of grace. This spirit of criticism and negativity causes division, bitterness, and unforgiveness. It will rob you of peace and joy, and it will keep you trapped in the prison of your own anger. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with others, ask God to help you see them the way He sees them. Start your day with love and grace, and watch how it transforms not just your relationships, but your entire life. Finally, the fourth habit that angers God is waking up without a sense of purpose. Do you wake up with a sense of urgency? Do you wake up excited to fulfill the mission that God has set before you? Or do you wake up and go through the motions just waiting for the day to pass by? When you fail to recognize your purpose, you're dishonoring the life that God has given you. God did not create you to waste your days or to live without direction. You were made for a reason. You were designed to make a difference. Every single day is a divine opportunity to walk in your purpose and to fulfill the calling that God has placed on your life. When you wake up without a purpose, you waste the very gift that God has given you. Don't let another day pass by without seeking God's will for your life. Don't let another day go by without understanding that you are part of something bigger. Your life has meaning. Your choices have consequences. Start your day with a sense of purpose, and you will see the power of God move in your life like never before. Now, let me say this to you with all seriousness. If you continue these 4 habits, you will find yourself stuck. You will find yourself in a cycle of frustration, bitterness, and spiritual dryness. You will feel like God is distant and your life is aimless. You will feel like you are going through the motions without ever really living, but the good news is, you don't have to stay in that place. You can change today. You can start your mornings with gratitude, prayer, love, and purpose. You can begin your days with a heart that honors God, and in turn, He will honor you. You can turn your life around one morning at a time, and with God's help, you will rise above every obstacle, every negative thought, and every critical spirit. Your mornings matter, your habits matter, and it's time for you to start living in the fullness of the life God has called you to. Don't let another morning go to waste. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. You have a choice in how you see the day ahead of you, and you have a choice in how you approach the challenges, the blessings, and the opportunities that will unfold. One of the most powerful decisions you make every morning is the attitude you choose to carry with you as you step into the world. If you begin your day with a heart of ingratitude, complaining about the circumstances you're in, about the people around you, or even about the life God has blessed you with, you are setting yourself up for failure. The moment you open your eyes and immediately focus on what's wrong with your life, you're closing the door to what could be a life-transforming day. When you wake up and fill your mind with complaints and negativity, you are essentially rejecting the blessings that God has already prepared for you. Every single day is an opportunity to praise Him for the fact that you woke up, for the breath in your lungs, for the chance to make a difference. If you can't find gratitude in those things, it's a sign that you've lost sight of God's goodness. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a choice. It's a decision to acknowledge God's provision, His faithfulness, and His love, no matter the situation you find yourself in. Too many of us take for granted the very breath that sustains us. We wake up, we go through the motions, and we miss the fact that we are alive by God's grace. The first thing you do when you open your eyes is set the tone for the entire day. If you start your day by complaining about how hard life is or how unfair your situation feels, you are shutting the door on the peace and joy that God has for you. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to focus on the problems. It's easy to look at the world around you and feel overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated. But when you do that, you're missing out on something far greater. God's provision and the way He is moving in your life. The truth is, no matter how difficult things may seem, there's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. It shifts your mind from what you lack to what you have. When you thank God for even the small things, the sun rising, your health, your family, the opportunity to work and serve, you are training your mind to see the good in every situation. Gratitude is a weapon. It's a weapon that guards your heart from bitterness and resentment. When you're filled with gratitude, you're less likely to get caught up in envy, comparison, or feelings of inadequacy. Gratitude reminds you of who God is and what He has already done for you. It reminds you that even in the hardest of times, He is faithful. The Bible tells us to give thanks in all circumstances, not because everything in our lives is perfect, but because we know that God is with us, guiding us, and protecting us through it all. The act of waking up with gratitude is more than just a positive mental shift. It's an act of faith. It's declaring that no matter what happens today, you trust God's plan for your life. It's choosing to see His hand in every moment, no matter how small. Gratitude doesn't depend on your circumstances. It depends on your perspective. When you wake up with a heart of gratitude, you are aligning yourself with God's will for your life. You are choosing to honor Him with your attitude and your words. You are choosing to live in the fullness of His promises, knowing that He has something good in store for you, even in the midst of trials. But gratitude alone is not enough. The second crucial element that impacts your day is the practice of prayer. Starting your day without connecting to God is like trying to run a race without the right equipment. When you don't pray, you are walking into the unknown without divine guidance. You are stepping into a spiritual battlefield without your armor. Too many people wake up and immediately turn to their phones, to the noise of the world, or to their own plans, but they miss the most important part of their morning, spending time with God. Prayer is how we invite God into our day. It's how we surrender our worries, fears, and desires to Him, and it's how we receive His strength and direction. The Bible tells us that we should pray without ceasing, and yet many of us fail to make prayer a priority. We rush through our mornings, caught up in the chaos of life, and wonder why we feel lost, disconnected, or defeated. When you don't pray, you're essentially saying to God, "I don't need you today. I've got it under control." But the truth is, none of us have control. None of us can handle the weight of the world on our own. Prayer is not just a ritual, it's a lifeline. It's where we find our peace, our guidance, and our purpose. It's where we hear God's voice and feel His presence. When we start our day with prayer, we are opening ourselves up to God's wisdom and His power. We are aligning our hearts with His will, and we are surrendering ourselves to His plan for the day. The power of prayer can't be overstated. It's in the quiet moments of prayer that we find our strength to face challenges, our wisdom to make decisions, and our courage to stand firm in our faith. Prayer transforms our perspective. It shifts our focus from what's going wrong to what God is doing. When you start your day with gratitude and prayer, you are setting yourself up for success, not in the worldly sense, but in the spiritual sense. You are preparing yourself for victory, for peace, for joy. You are giving God permission to work in your life, and you are opening your heart to the blessings He has for you. If you want to experience true transformation, begin each day with a heart of gratitude and a habit of prayer. When you make these two things your first priority in the morning, you will see a shift in your mindset, your relationships, and your entire life. You will no longer be bogged down by negativity, but you will be filled with hope and peace. You will no longer feel lost or disconnected, but you will be guided by God's wisdom and His love. Start today. Choose gratitude, choose prayer, and watch how God transforms your life. When we wake up in the morning, our first actions and decisions set the tone for everything that will follow. The truth is, the way you begin your day is critical to the success of the rest of your day, your relationships, and your spiritual well-being. One of the most vital things we often overlook is the power of starting the day with prayer. Too many people wake up, jump out of bed, check their phones, get lost in the world's noise, and rush into their day without ever considering God. What we fail to realize is that this habit is not just an oversight, it's a spiritual mistake. We wake up in a battlefield, a place where spiritual attacks are constantly happening, and without prayer we are walking into the world unarmed and unprepared. The first moments of your day are precious because they are an opportunity to align yourself with God's will, to seek His wisdom, to invite His presence, and to prepare your heart for the challenges that lie ahead. Prayer is not just about asking God for things. It's about connecting with the Creator of the universe, the one who formed you with a purpose, the one who has an incredible plan for your life. Prayer is about acknowledging that without God, we are nothing. When you wake up and rush into your day without prayer, you are essentially saying, "God, I don't need you today. I can handle it on my own." But the truth is, you can't. We are constantly bombarded by the pressures of life, by temptation, by confusion, and by fear. We cannot fight these battles alone. We need God's strength, His protection, and His guidance to navigate the challenges of the day. That's why starting your day with prayer is one of the most powerful things you can do. It is the armor that protects you, the shield that guards you, and the fuel that gives you the strength to move forward. Prayer is not a ritual, it's a lifeline. When you take the time to pray, you invite God into your life, and you invite His Spirit to fill you, to direct you, and to empower you. Without prayer, we are trying to face the world with our own understanding and our own strength, and that will always lead to defeat. But when you begin your day with prayer, you are putting on the armor of God. You are allowing His Word to guide you, His Spirit to strengthen you, and His love to empower you to face anything that comes your way. Too many people allow their day to dictate their mood and their actions. They wake up feeling defeated before the day has even started because they're already focused on their problems, on what's not going right, or on what's stressing them out. But here's the thing, when you begin your day with prayer, you are making a declaration that God is bigger than any problem you will face. You are saying, I trust you, God. I trust that you will lead me, that you will guide me, that you will protect me. Prayer gives you perspective. It helps you see things from God's viewpoint instead of your own. It helps you recognize His hand in every situation, even in the struggles and challenges. When you pray, you are choosing to surrender control. You are choosing to place your trust in God and to believe that He is in charge, no matter how things may look. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that prayer is only for big moments, only for the times when things are falling apart or when we desperately need God to move. But the truth is, we need God every moment of every day. We need His presence to guide us through the mundane, to strengthen us for the small challenges, and to empower us for the big ones. Starting your day with prayer is not just about asking for things, but about surrendering yourself to God's plan for your life. It's about seeking His will, His direction, and His strength. Prayer reminds you that you are not alone, that you don't have to do everything on your own, and that God is with you every step of the way. You don't have to face the day with fear, anxiety, or doubt. You don't have to face the world without the strength of the one who created it. Prayer connects you to the Creator. It connects you to the source of life, and it gives you the confidence to step into each day knowing that you are walking in His will. But prayer doesn't just change your day, it changes you. It transforms your mindset, your heart, and your spirit. When you wake up and pray, you are aligning yourself with God's heart. You are setting your intentions for the day, and you are asking Him to direct your steps, to guide your thoughts, and to help you make choices that honor Him. Prayer isn't just about the big decisions in life, it's about every little decision. It's about how you respond to challenges, how you treat people, how you face adversity. Prayer helps you stay grounded in your faith. It helps you keep your focus on God's promises rather than on the problems you may face. Prayer shifts your perspective from the negative to the positive. It reminds you that no matter how hard things may seem, God is still in control. It reminds you that no matter how weak you feel, God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. And when you make prayer a priority, you will begin to see how much it impacts every area of your life. You will experience more peace, more clarity, more strength, and more joy. The more you pray, the more you will understand God's will for your life. The more you pray, the more you will see His hand at work in your life. You will begin to recognize His presence in the small moments, in the quiet moments, and in the challenges. Prayer is not just about asking, it's about listening. It's about opening your heart to hear from God, to receive His wisdom, and to be guided by His Spirit. When you pray, you are cultivating a deeper relationship with God. You are building intimacy with Him. You are learning to trust Him in every situation, and you are learning to surrender your will to His. The power of prayer is transformative. It is the key to unlocking God's peace, power, and presence in your life. It is the key to living a victorious life, a life filled with purpose and direction. And it is the key to facing every challenge with confidence, knowing that God is with you. So, don't skip prayer. Don't neglect this vital connection with your Creator. Make prayer your first priority when you wake up, and watch how it transforms your day, your life, and your spirit. You are never alone. You are never without help. God is waiting to hear from you, and He is ready to guide you through every moment of your day. Start your morning with prayer and watch God move in ways you've never imagined.